Welcome back to the Rise with Anita podcast, or welcome if you're new here. If you're finding me for the first time, I just want to start off by saying I truly believe that the conversations that are meant to find us always do. So you are in the right place, and I'm so grateful to have you here. This is a space where we talk all things nervous system embodiment, expanding our nervous system capacity, and where soul meets strategy. So here's the thing I'm going to be diving into today is about voice and how when you finally find your voice, your authentic voice, your life naturally starts to require change. But before we dive in, I'm going to invite you to arrive into this space. So if you're able to do so, lay your feet flat on the floor. Feel the presence. Allow yourself to ground. And we're going to inhale together for 6. Hold for 4. And release for 8. Do that one more time with me. Inhale for 6. Hold for 4. And release for 8 through the mouth. And just allow yourself to feel into this present moment, because you have nothing else that you need to worry about except the right here and the right now. I think one thing I love about doing these breaths as a practice is it brings you back to the awareness of the present moment and just what a gift our breathing can truly, truly be. But diving into the actual topic of the episode today, it's all around once you find your voice, once you own your voice, you have to have a life that matches it. And what I mean by that is the version of you that existed before, who had built her life around the silence, the over-explaining, over-accommodating, keeping the peace, and being the person everyone else needed her to be. The one who learned that her safety lived in being liked and not being in expression needs to shift. Because once you are in a place where your voice is now online, you own it, you feel it, you realize what is inside of you that needs to be expressed. Everything starts to move. Your boundaries become clearer because you're starting to respect yourself and raise your standard to the point that it matches your identity. Your no's become faster because you're no longer thinking of, is this in alignment or is it not? Because reality is, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. And you recognize it. You no longer think about whether or not you will hurt someone's feelings by saying the no. You start to recognize your body is speaking before you begin to override it. So suddenly you recognize what you're no longer tolerating. And you recognize that the things you used to tolerate are no longer okay. But here's the part no one's going to prepare you for. When you are in the middle of the shift, it may feel lonely. It may feel like you're now turning your back on relationships because they're now seeing a different side of you. Because you're no longer meeting the people in your life from that same version of yourself. With this new version, you are embodying a new identity, and not everyone will be able to match that. But here's the thing I really believe. You're not actually losing people. You're shedding the versions of yourself that stayed quiet in order to be chosen. And if there's anything I know about, it's the feeling of accommodating to feel chosen. The part of you that used to overgive so that you would feel loved, that tolerated the misalignment to feel safe. And while that version is what got you here, she's no longer the version of you that you can take further into the change that you really want to make. So here's the thing. This week, I want you to really look at what is one truth you would normally soften, or maybe perhaps a no that you would give with resistance. Just one. And allow your voice to exist without shrinking the message so that it can be received in a way that feels fair or accommodating. Because here's the thing, when we don't own what we truly want to say with our hearts, we are actually shrinking. We are actually dimming away the parts of us that deserve to be seen. And it reveals really the truth of the fact that your voice is not going to destroy your life. It's going to reveal what was never aligned to begin with. And in that, what feels like it's breaking is actually bringing you back into alignment. So, I just wanted to say, if you're with me listening to this now, having the courage to speak up can be such a hard aspect. But it's not as hard as living a life that is not aligned anymore. The right people meant for you will find you. And I can say this with a wholehearted confidence. What is meant for you always, always finds you. So if you're listening to this right now and you're just feeling uncertain, just know I have been with you. In fact, part of me is still you. But when we finally raise our standards and match the identity with it, we recognize what used to work no longer does, and we operate from a new capacity and a new set point. So this is another quick little solo episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it with a sister who might need it. Just the reminder to start to use their voice, to start anchoring in their heart. And until the next one, I will see you in the next episode.